Hi, I'm Jill McGovern. I'm one of the school psychologists at Sunset High School. I've been here for 17 years and worked for Beaverton School District in various capacities for a long time.
Hi everyone, I'm Dina Schreiner and I'm your school social worker. I help get people connected to resources, mental health, and just talk about overall social wellness.
And hi, I'm Susie Dean. I'm the other school psychologist here at Sunset High School, and I have been working in the Beaverton School District for the last 6 years.
Today's advisory lesson is an introduction to sources of strength. So often we talk about mental health and it is buried in stigma, shock, trauma, horror, shame. Let's change this. Let's talk about mental health much like we talk about our physical health. Let's normalize. We all have mental health. Let's talk about it through the lens of resilience, hope, and strength. We're going to focus our energy on the remainder of the year on what helps us and what brings us sources of strength. How are we building up resiliency? And how are we fostering hope here at Sunset? Each Sources of Strength lesson will be co hosted and co created by a club or a group of students here at Sunset. Today's lesson was co created by our Link crew. Big shout out to the Link crew for being resilient, courageous, and for being a valuable part of this work. Let's begin. First, let's check in. Your teacher will put this check-in slide into your Zoom. You're going to use the annotate feature in your Zoom and put an icon next to how you're feeling today. It's really important for us to label how we feel. It's important, as we've mentioned in previous lessons, that if you can name it, you can tame it. Teachers, pause here and share your check-in slide. Take 5 minutes after and play the optional game I shared in the email. It's called Roller Coaster. Some of the students are already very familiar with it. You can play it with your screens off or screens on. Starting with a game can really set the tone for hope, strength, and resilience, and be really fun.
Besides responding to serious mental health concerns, it's also important to develop healthy coping strategies and positive aspects in our lives. One program that focuses on healthy living is called Sources of Strength. This program is being implemented in many schools across the nation, including Oregon. This program not only prevents suicide, but it also focuses on healthy living and preventative factors. Sources of Strength focuses on upstream prevention. And to illustrate what upstream prevention is, I'm going to tell you a story. There once was a woman who lived in a village situated near a waterfall. Every day, she would take a walk along the river's edge near that waterfall. On one particular day, she heard a shout coming from the water and saw someone caught up in the current, about to go over the waterfall. Springing into action, she swam out to the person and pulled them to safety. The next day, she was on a regular walk when she heard another shout and saw another person in the current. As she pulled this one to safety, she heard yet another shout from the current. The people of the village began to realize that there were an overwhelming number of people caught up in the current being swept towards the waterfall. They began to get organized. They trained lifeguards. They built watchtowers and trained everyone in CPR and mouth to mouth resuscitation. They saved a lot of lives, but they weren't able to keep everyone from going over the falls. One day, the woman started to walk upstream. The village shouted, "Where are you going? We need you here." She replied, "I'm going upstream to see if I can keep some people from falling in the river in the first place." When we move upstream, we are able to be truly preventative, to prevent the very onset of suicidal ideation or attempts. Upstream prevention seeks to teach resiliency and coping so that people don't fall in the river in the first place, or when they do, they're able to swim and get out of the river while the waters are still relatively tranquil. Reducing risk factors enhance protective processes that influence the likelihood that young people will become suicidal. Engaging in upstream prevention aims to reduce the likelihood that youth will ever become suicidal by focusing on strength and building protective processes. Having a healthy lifestyle isn't just about focusing on how we feel. It's about focusing on the multiple aspects of healthy living. Sources of Strength is an example of a program that focuses on having healthy lifestyle. As you can see, Sources of Strength has 8 spokes on the wheel. As we navigate through life's ups and downs, tapping into these 8 sources of strength on this strength wheel, it can help us build resilience, experience recovery, and practice emotional regulation.
These 8 spokes include family support, having good, positive friends, having adult mentors, participating in healthy activities such as exercise or getting together with friends, generosity or doing volunteer work, spirituality or having gratitude, taking care of our bodies, including healthy eating and getting enough sleep, and having good coping strategies when we are struggling with our stresses.
Now that we know a little bit about the spokes of the wheel, sources of strength, and upstream prevention, let's take a look at what helps us.
Hi, my name is Lucy, and my slice of the wheel is medical access. When I need resources for my health, I go to my school nurse, ask my parents, or use Google to figure out what I need. My second slice of the wheel is mental health. When I get too anxious, what helps me is listening to music, going outside for a walk, or reading a book.
When I want to feel spirituality, I practice mindfulness, yoga, journaling, being in nature such as hiking or camping, and it could be religion-based, but depending on who you are. Spirituality overall is something that brings you peace and calmness.
Hi, my name is Bryn. The slice I have is positive friends, and some qualities that I'd look for in a positive friend is that they're kind to me, as well as others, have similar interests so we have something to bond over, and that they are trustworthy, loyal, and will always have my back.
Hi, I'm Narmeen, and my slice is healthy activities. What I do to keep a healthy lifestyle is I get enough sleep, I take walks with friends, and I ride my bike.
Hi, my name is Hannah, and my slice is generosity. In order to remain generous, I make sure to check in on my friends, family, and loved ones to make sure that they're doing well, as well as check in on myself to make sure that I'm doing well, because being generous to yourself is just as important as being generous to others.
Hi, my name is Benny Gomez, and I have the Slice Mentors. When I think of mentors, I think of adult figures who have helped me in my life. They always have these traits: trustworthy, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, and cheerful.
Hi, I'm Erin. When I need help, I often turn to my family members for support and advice. Your family is people you love and trust who care about you, not just someone who shares your blood. I personally talk to my siblings since they're closer to my age and understand growing up in the 21st century a little better than other members of my family.
What helps you? Keep your eyes peeled. The Link crew will be taking over social media and asking this very question. Respond, engage, build community, share what your sources of strength are and what domain of the wheel is really bringing you strength during this really challenging time. Also, we just wanted to remind you that there are resources available if your mental health is just not feeling as strong as you would like it to be. If you're having thoughts of suicide, self-harm, or you're needing additional support, please check in. There's resources available and support, and you don't have to go through this alone. Reach out to your school counselor, a trusted adult, or reach out to one of the numbers that Jill McGovern will be talking about next.
So another resource that I want you to be aware of is the Washington County Crisis Line. As you can see, the phone number is 503-291-9111. And this phone number should also be on the back of your student ID. Another resource is the Oregon Youth Line. The Youth Line is manned by students who are 16 years or older, who have been trained at the Youth Line. The training to be a volunteer on the Youth Line is a 40-hour training. So you can either call the Youth Line and talk to someone your age, or you can text the Youth Line as well. And there is the Youth Line because, as I said, we know that it's easier for teens to talk to other teens. The Youth Line also has adult supervisors, So if a teen on the youth line is really concerned about things that the person is saying, the supervisor can make sure that the teen gets the help that they need.